fans were hitting him, that Keke Palmer fans were hitting him, and that feminists were hitting him and pretending that he was insecure. And he wrote this. He tweeted, "We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others. And he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case."
His response is dismissed. His response,
but does he still?
The funny part about all of it is his response.
Because he responded wrong. That's what publicists are for.
His response got dismissed. He didn't respond wrong. To us, he responded wrong because we would never do that, and we know enough, and we've been around long enough to know that he shouldn't have did that publicly.
Well, no.
His response should be considered. We lose that piece, and we laughing and we joking. We don't want to have a real. Again, we going on to some funny shit. His response should be considered.
Let's go, Ishmael.
We always talking about how we be dismissing women's feelings and shit like that. That boy's feelings should be considered.
He wrote, "Plain and simple. If you need," and this is the list he has, "surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions hurt our trust."
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Whoa. That last part. Shut up.
Protect, provide, and shut up. Okay, so for the past few months, we've been seeing plenty of examples of situations happening to where we see the snapshot and then make the snapshot the picture. And we never question the context of anything. We only assume that what we see is exactly what it is. Like, we've been seeing moments where men are expressing their frustrations with their partners. And then we take those snapshots and make it their character, but never question what got them to that point. We just assume that that's just who they are. We don't even think that his woman got him to that point. It's like we only see the actions as the actions, but never as a reaction. We say things like, "Oh, he's controlling, he's a narcissist, he's an asshole, he's misogynistic, he's this, that, and the third," but we never question the context of anything. Just like if you were at a job and you see your boss go off on an employee and fire them, and then people are like, "Yo, he's such a shitty boss. Why would they fire their employee like that? What did they do?" But they never ask about the 100 conversations that boss had with that employee before they even got to that point. How much patience they really had with that employee. But it's like, you know how many times that employee put their boss's job in jeopardy? How many times they didn't follow the rules and didn't care about the rules? How many times they didn't perform when they were supposed to perform? You never put that into question. But all you see is the point of no return. You see the blow up. And now you're saying, well, that's wrong. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have said that. A lot of these situations have been brewing for a while. And a lot of times people get to a point where it's like, yo, I already told you my concerns. I told you I don't like that. Apparently you're not listening. Something's not correlating here. I'm communicating. You don't care. So maybe I need to talk in your language so you can hear it. Whatever that language may be. Because that seems to be the only language that you respect and respond to. Because the double standard in a lot of these relationship situations is that when the woman is fed up, we always question what he did to get her to that point. But when the man is fed up, we never question what she did to get him to that point. We just automatically assume that that's just who he's always been. She had nothing to do with that. That he's a narcissist, that he's abusive, that he's controlling. We start throwing all these buzzwords out to paint him in a certain light to make sure he doesn't look like a victim. When a man gets fed up in a certain situation, we associate his actions with his overall character. But when a woman gets fed up in a situation, we treat it like it's an isolated incident. It's not her overall character. That's the double standard. And it's like, why is that the case? I hear people say sometimes, well, you know, they just changed. They just changed out of nowhere. It just blindsided me. Like, people always talk about how somebody else changed, but they never talk about what they might have done to contribute to that person changing. And the other part of these double standards now is that men can't have boundaries. That if a woman expresses her boundaries, her standards, her expectations, what she needs from you, it's okay. Nobody says a word. But when a man does the exact same thing, now he's controlling. Where is this societal norm coming from? That is how low we've set the bar for standards and boundaries. Here's the thing, like relationships are controlled environments. If you don't want to be in a controlled environment, don't get into a relationship. Point blank, period. Relationships have boundaries, they have standards, they have guidelines, they have principles, they have ethics. If you don't want to agree to any of that, don't be in one. If you want to be free, do not be in a relationship, because commitment and freedom cannot coexist. It doesn't coexist. As soon as you commit to something, you are bound to it. There's no such thing as freedom and commitment. You don't commit to something and then go do what you want to do with it and do what you want to do within it. That's not how that works. So if you want to live free and do what you want to do, act how you want to act, dress how you want to dress, be who you want to be, do not get into a relationship. You have to respect your partner's boundaries. People really believe that if they are in your life, that you shouldn't tell them how they should be in your life. That if it's your image, that you shouldn't tell them how they should represent you. That if it's your time, you shouldn't tell them how they should value your time. You're just supposed to just accept it. Accept everything and say nothing. If you are in my life, then this is how you're going to be in my life. And if you don't like that, don't be in my life. It's that simple. You go live your life and I go live my life. But if we want to have a life together, then we have to know how to coexist. Now, it is on you to have the right discernment, to pick the right people that are aligned with what you are and who you are in your life. So if you with somebody who isn't aligned with that, that's your fault.
My man talking.
If someone is already living outside of your principles and you choose to be with them anyway, that's on you. But if y'all have already came to a mutual agreement about what the principles are and they choose to not care about them based off of how they want to live, then now they have to make a choice. And people love to say, well, he's grown, she grown, you can't tell somebody what to do. Well, you in a relationship. The same grown decision you made to get into a relationship, then make that same grown decision to get out of one. Don't wait until you get into a relationship and then talk about how grown you are. So you have to follow the guidelines and boundaries of that commitment. See, air is free. Air conditioning isn't. Some of y'all might get that. But tell me what y'all think, man. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace out.